Rajesh Sundaram's testimony at the state capture inquiry has dredged up some ghosts of ANN7 past. I bring you this story not as an ENCA journalist per se, but as someone who worked inside the Gupta media empire, the New Age newspaper and ANN7 for about 5 years. It was a difficult time in my career that I don't like to think back on. I met Rajesh Sundaram on the 21st of July 2013 when I was still a print journalist at the New Age newspaper. That was also the very first day I was asked to go on camera. No footage is available except this old blurry screen grab. I was transferred to ANN7 several months after the disastrous launch in August 2013, making my television debut on the 3rd of March 2014. The hours were insane. A February 2015 work roster shows journalists being required to work 10-hour shifts 12 days in a row. It soon became apparent that the Basic Conditions of Employment Act was there to be ignored.
The sense that I got was that they didn't really respect the people that worked for them. They thought they were all servants who could be treated in whatever way they want. They could be kept in subhuman conditions.
Ethel Williams-Abramse is a former ANN7 employee who started working at the channel 3 days before its launch. She stayed for only 6 months and remains traumatized to this day. One evening, she stepped outside for a smoke before a show she was producing went live. The then Oak Bay CEO, Nazim Hawa, approached her.
He says to me, this is how Nazim talks to people. What you doing outside? And I looked at him and I say to him, it's a little bit obvious what I'm doing outside. And he said to me, if this thing doesn't work, then you must know. And he walked away, keep cap. You know how he walks with those cheap shoes. I don't know where he gets it from. Keep cap. In that moment, when he said that to me, I thought, I'm resigning.
Atul Gupta's outbursts were consistent with his view on South Africans in general.
They're extremely lazy, they don't work, things like that. And I would say, how can he make a general statement like that? He's an absolutely bigoted individual.
Abramse remembers Atul Gupta's racist tirade one evening.
You monkey, come here, you stupid monkey. And he was on a rant.
The Guptas' paranoia to monitor what every employee was doing at any given time bordered on the absurd and illegal.
We were told by Ricky that the cameras are no longer in the toilets. Now, how do you put surveillance cameras inside the ladies' toilets?
It was an abusive work environment most of the time. Speak up and you're targeted. Sundaram couldn't take it anymore. He ran for his life from a Gupta bodyguard. Abramse witnessed it.
When we saw him running with the other guy with a gun openly, like that, the bodyguard with the gun running like that, we realized that whatever it is that we were doing, however it is that we are doing it, somehow we are complicit in something quite illegal.
The last journalist to interview Sundaram before he fled South Africa in September 2013 was City Press arts editor Charles Blino.
He was suffering from high blood pressure and hypertension, I'm sure. He was unshaven, he was shaking. I get a little bit emotional just thinking about how emotional he was.
Blino says Sundaram was blunt about the work environment.
Of people burning out, having family crises they couldn't attend to, funerals they couldn't get to, of people breaking down but then being followed to the toilet or having the time spent in the toilet monitored like a salt mine.
Let me take you inside a staff meeting with ANN7's political editor Ricky Naidu on the 2nd of March 2015. Several senior managers had just quit and walked out. Staff morale was low and journalists frustrated.
Michael, you got anything to say?
Lots, but it's not the platform.
No, I don't like your attitude. I mean, it seems like you got something to say, then say it to me.
Well, I think we're losing senior managers at a rate which I hope is alarming. And there has to be some serious questions asked as to why.
There's a perception that, I don't know the background of people that are here, The undertone that comes from so-called the seniors, it's almost like you're coming from a cadet school of TNA, and then suddenly, you're here, and then you don't know what you're doing, you know what I mean? You can't even, come up with the angle. It's actually irritating, but if you come as a professional and engage me, not because of you, I'll kind of like listen to you. Professionalism needs to happen.
At the end of the day, your news editor is not your friend as a reporter. If anyone created that impression, you must think again.
Nazim was still talking about, balanced reporting. Ricky was unashamed. It's time you all understand that we are here for the ANC.
The building is nothing more than an empty shell now. A place where careers began, yes, but also a place of suffering and degradation. Michael Apple, Johannesburg.